Welcome to this unit about innovation, concepts about innovation. We need this to share these concepts because we need to have a common knowledge about what innovation is, at least to share the same concepts in order to define when we talk about innovative thinking, we need to know what we are talking about. And this is why we are talking about, we are showing some concepts about innovation. So let's start with who was an innovator. Here at the left we have Darwin, and at the right we have Thomas Alva Edison. Thomas Alva Edison was one of the contributors to the invention of the incandescent light bulb. And he not just invented the incandescent light bulb, but also managed to bring it to the market and to light the streets of his city. Darwin developed a theory describing how the world, the species of animals and people, and all the creatures in Earth evolve. He is a brilliant scientist. He's a brilliant mind. But the product is a description of what is occurring in the nature. They don't invent anything, they don't bring nothing new, just explain, which is a very brilliant explanation of what nature is. The same goes for at the right we have Henry Ford, and at the left we have Albert Einstein. The achievement of Einstein is also the same. He managed to describe how the universe works. So he is the first, the brilliant mind, being the first to describe, to bring to our knowledge how the universe works. But he was also a discoverer, a scientist discovering how the nature works. In the case of Henry Ford, he didn't invent the car, but he managed to bring cars to the market in a serious way. So he's an innovator. The same we can say for Tim Berners-Lee. He invented the World Wide Web, and the World Wide Web reached the market and is governing most of our activities today. So he's an innovator. Marie Curie is also a brilliant scientist who discovered what was already present in nature, the radioactivity. The same for others. So if we want to describe how innovation is, I would like to introduce this definition from the perspective of business books. Say that innovation is the commercial application of an idea. It's a commercial and social fact able to generate wealth. That's relevant, to generate wealth, generate benefits to the society. Another definition is materialization, combination, and synthesis of knowledge and new relevant and worthy products, processes, or services. We have this one application for the very first time to be an innovator, innovation, very first time, of knowledge of rational practices to the satisfaction of social economical needs. A necessary condition is a successful introduction into the market. It should be shared to the market, to the society. Some concepts that are not innovation but are related to innovation. Invention. New idea based on scientific or technical knowledge used to fulfill a need but which could not have neither economical feasibility nor application in the real world. The relation between invention and its possible application is complex and usually not well understood depending on different factors, state of the art, market needs, financing, out of the scope of the inventor. This is why we say that invention is an intellectual activity. while innovation is a social activity. You have to socialize your product, your change, your new process, your new way of marketing with the society in order to become an innovation. We introduce also from the guru of management, Peter Drucker, what he distinguishes among innovation and improvement. He says improvement is incremental improvement of products and services. Manage evolution using the new products to prepare for the next innovation. And finally, innovation properly said, what is innovation for him is an attitude more than a, uh, an action, is more an attitude, the attitude of systematic use of any change, being this change technologically, demographic, economic, or social, or as business opportunities. So it's more the way we think and the way we see and we explore our environment in order to extract all the changes to be able to extract opportunities from these changes. This is a latest uh, definition that is more broad than the former definition, the previous definitions. Innovation is any change based in knowledge able to generate value. Okay, here we have three elements. First is change. We need to change. Change a product, change a service, change a process, change the way we market, change the way we produce, change the way we distribute, etc. Change. This is the first key ingredient of this definition. The second is based in knowledge. That means that you know what is already existing, so your change is new. This is why we need knowledge for knowing what is new. If this change is the same of other change, it's not an innovation. Excuse me. But if with the knowledge we are able to know if our change is a new one. If it's new, then and it generates value to the society, value to the market, etc., value that can be measured by wealth, then we are talking about innovation. The need for innovation and differentiation. Michael Porter just analyzed how companies invest trying to differentiate from each other, and they in the end they cannot differentiate because they put all their investments in better performing the current activities they are doing. So they are producing in different positions, but they are producing to what is known as the productivity frontier. But in the end, all the companies just struggling in the productivity frontier without innovation ends in the like. Okay, so there's no differentiation. We need to differentiate by innovating as a very strategic movement to become more profitable in the market. This is an expression from MIT from 2016. Innovation is the true engine of economic growth. It's like Schumpeter says, innovation is the creative destruction of the market. Types of innovation. We have so far discovered, talked about concepts of innovation. Let's talk about types of innovation. By its nature, we can define product innovation, process innovation, and market innovation. We could also commercial innovation, organizative innovation, etc. How can we classify innovations. Different innovations have different nature, different impact. Classifying by impact or influence, we can talk about incremental, sustainable, radical, a big change. Incremental is a small change, progressive improvements. Systemic and autonomous. Autonomous means that an innovation doesn't depend of the environment, of the surrounding elements, while systemic means that you need to change not only your own activity, but also the activity of yours upwards and downwards. And then architectural or paradigm shift is those innovations that produce a profound, a big change either in the technology and in the market. Abernathy Clark used the term transilience. In class, we provided an example of different mm, 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 areas of a diagram to classify the impact or influence by regular innovations, revolutionary innovations, niche innovations, and architectonic innovations. Talking about revolutionary innovations and radical innovations, my question is, do you really think that radical innovation exists? The point here is that we can talk about the radical innovation because we didn't know what were the previous work of different scientists, different engineers. Even the brightest innovation, the most of radical excuse me, radical innovations as the incandescent light bulb, we said that there were a lot of attempts in the history before a proven incandescent light bulb reached the market. So most of the radical innovations come from existing knowledge surrounding, and there are lots of attempts just to produce this radical innovation. And we finish with seeing how the periodic table evolved in time. Again, a lot of attempts try to classify the different elements, the chemical elements, until at the end we arrive to the now existing periodic table of the elements. Thank you very much. This is our first unit.